Hello everyone. In this session we will be discussing about antigen antibody interaction. What is antigen antibody interaction? Simply it is the interaction between an antigen and an antibody. So we know that each antibody is specific for each antigen. So these interactions are highly specific in nature. And antibodies, how they interact with the antigens, they will recognize special molecular shapes called epitopes on these antigens, and that's how they interact. So if there is a better fit between this epitope and this antibody, then the reaction or the interaction is more favorable, and there is a higher affinity for the antibody for this antigen. The bonds that can be seen in this antigen and antibody interaction, there are four bonds: electrostatic bonds, hydrogen bonding, and hydrophobic interactions, and van der Waals bonds. In the case of electrostatic bonds, it is seen in oppositively charged groups among these antigen and antibody. For example, we can take the amino group, ionized amino group, that is positively charged NH4 plus on the lysine of the antibody, and an ionized carboxyl group on the aspartate residue of the antigen. They are a good example for electrostatic bonding. In the case of hydrogen bond, we only see this hydrogen bonding when this antigen and antibody are in close proximity, and also only a weak hydrogen bonding is seen. This weak hydrogen bonding is found between the hydrophilic groups, for example between OH and C double bond O, or NH and C double bond O, or NH and OH groups, like that. Next is hydrophobic interactions. So hydrophobic interaction is thought to contribute about 50% of the total strength of AgAb bond. So what happens is that this hydrophobic group, such as the side chains of valine or leucine, phenylalanine, all these are hydrophobic groups. They will associate due to van der Waals bonding, and they will coalesce in the aqueous environment. So what will happen? They will exclude H2O molecules, and as a consequence the distance between them will decrease and the energy of the attraction will increase. So that is how this accounts for the total strength of AgAb bond. Next interaction is van der Waals bond, and van der Waals bond depend upon the interaction between the electron clouds that is seen around the Ag and Ab molecules. Now, the strength of an AgAb interaction. We can say the strength of the antigen antibody interaction in three terms. First one is affinity, then we have avidity, then we have cross reactivity. First we will discuss affinity. Affinity is actually the overall strength of the interaction between the epitope of an antigen and an antibody's antigen binding site. So we can define it by the thermodynamic principle that govern any reversible biomolecular interaction. So here, if you are taking we are taking the antigen antibody interaction, just like how we take these enzymatic interactions. For that we will write a constant, right? For this also we can say Ka is equal to the concentration of AAB-Ag complex whole divided by the concentration of antigen and the concentration of antibody. This equation might be similar to you. So this Ka is called as the affinity concentration, and Ab and Ag, you all know, it is the molar concentration of the unoccupied binding sites of antibody, and in the case of Ag, it is the molar concentration of unoccupied binding sites on the antigen, and the AgAb is the molar concentration of antigen antibody complex that is formed. Next we will discuss avidity. We all know that antigens and antibody, they are multivalent because they have more than one binding site. Antibody is having two antigen binding site. So the measure of the total binding strength of the antibody at every binding site, that is termed as avidity. The measure of the total binding strength of the antibody at every binding site is termed as avidity. So avidity can also be called as functional affinity. In the case of avidity, it is determined by three factors, that is the binding affinity, Binding affinity means the strength of the relationship at a singular binding site. And the next is the valency. Valency means the total number of binding sites that is involved. And the last one is the structural arrangement. Structural arrangement means the structure of the antigen and antibody that is involved in the interaction. So here, if we take IgM is a pentavalent antibody. So I mean it is a penta, but there are 10 antigen binding sites in IgM. So IgM has low affinity antigen binding sites, right? They are having low affinity antigen binding site, but there are 10 of them. So their avidity is high while the affinity is less. Okay, affinity means it is the strength of a single antigen antibody interaction. So in this case, IgG antigen binding site has a very high affinity for its target. Avidity means it is the strength of all the interactions combined. So in this case, if you are taking IgM as example, it has low affinity antigen binding site. If you are taking a single site, it is having low affinity, but there are 10 of these sites, so they are having high avidity. That is the difference between affinity and avidity. Affinity means it is the strength of a single antigen antibody interaction at a single site, but avidity means it is the strength of all interactions that is combined. And the last thing for determining the strength of AgAb interaction is cross reactivity. So if we are raising an antiserum against an antigen, it can also react with a similar antigen of another type. This is called as cross reactivity or cross reaction, and the antigen which is producing this cross reaction is called as cross reactive antigen. The bonds involved in a cross reaction are weak. For example of cross reactivity is, if you are raising a serum against albumin of hen's egg, it can also react with the albumin obtained from the duck's egg. Next we will discuss the factors affecting an antigen antibody reaction. Just like any other reaction, temperature is very important, pH is important, the ionic strength is important, there are polymers and other potentiators that is involved in the reaction, that is also a very important factor. Then we have other minute factors like the concentration of antigen and antibody, the duration of the incubation of the reaction. So these are all the factors affecting antigen antibody interaction. First one, we will discuss temperature. Commonly, antigen antibody reactions are expected to be stabilized at low temperature, but this temperature factor, they depend upon the chemical nature of the epitope or paratope, or better we can say it depends upon the weak bonds that is involved in the interaction. So hydrogen, if hydrogen bonds are involved, hydrogen bonds are exothermic and they are more stable at low temperature. So these hydrogen bonds are very important when we are considering a carbohydrate antigen. If you are taking a hydrophobic bond is more, then the strength of the hydrophobic bond, they increases with the temperature. So that is how temperature is affecting. It depends upon the nature of the chemical bonds involved in the antigen antibody complex. The next one is pH. So if there is a high pH values actually induce a marked conformational changes in the antibody molecule, and it will destroy its complementarity with the antigen. So the effect of pH on the equilibrium constant of anti-D is characterized by a symmetrical curve around a maximum lying between pH 6.5 and 8.4. So at both the sides of this maximum, the antigen antibody interaction will be strongly inhibited. For example, at pH 5.0 or 9.5, the equilibrium constant is 100-fold lower than at 6.5 or 7.0. So in fact, this property of this inhibition of reaction at either side of the pH maxima is being exploited to elude the antibodies from red cells. Ionic strength does not influence the weak bonds because ions bind to charged groups of epitopes or paratopes, so they obstruct their combination. Most chemicals that we use to improve the antibody detection can act on the agglutination. For example, the protamine, polythene, methyl cellulose, PEG and albumin are exceptions in this case. So the polymers and other potentiators that are used in the interactions can also affect the interaction. Concentration of antigen and antibody can also affect the interactions. So the simple dilution or the concentration of system without changing the absolute quantities can affect the reaction. Then the duration of the incubation. For maximum sensitivity, the reaction should be allowed to reach the equilibrium. So this can take a while. Other factor is that lowering the ionic strength, we can make the reaction faster. So the reaction should be allowed to reach the equilibrium, then only we will get the maximum result. So that is the duration of incubation.